Hi, I'm Kristin Huffman, and this is a show called Kristin's Korner, where I'm interviewing experts in the entertainment industry and people who work with those experts, and we're discussing trends and changes in the business so that we can all be better prepared. Today, I'm speaking with Adamowsky. She is a tax preparer and a partner with Trudy Durant and Associates since the year 2000. Now, you should know that on Broadway and every performing arts venue in the country, their office is recognized as the premier accounting firm in the entertainment industry. I'm very excited that she's taken the time during tax season to talk to me. Anne has been my tax accountant since 2006 or so, and she was recommended by our company manager of the Broadway show that I was in, and I'm so happy because I've been with her ever since. She has unique insights into the challenges that small business clients face, and we actors are a business, and Anne is very well versed in the aspects of all aspects actually of tax preparation. You know, and every time that I walk into your offices, I am blown away by the amount of show posters and the amount of your clients who are on Broadway.
Yes.
What percentage would you say of your clients are actually entertainment industry pros?
At least I would say 80%. It's a large percentage of our practice.
So you have very unique insights into our business.
Trudy, who started the business, has been doing this for 40 years. So we take care of people that live all over the country, not just in the tri-state area. We've met a lot of people because we go out, except for this year, unfortunately, to touring companies of shows. So we meet people that are on the tours that live in every state. This is our first year for Zoom. We really prefer face-to-face meetings when we can, to get caught up with all our clients, certainly for new clients, just to meet. And a lot of the basis of our practice is it's very service oriented. It's very we're here to help the clients, and so we're very available. People are very surprised and how quickly we get back to them. You know, you're an individual, you have a lot to learn. I so enjoy this practice because when I'm seeing people on the road or for regular appointments, everybody's different. I'm going to see a performer, and the next time I'm going to see a director, and then I'm going to see a lighting person, and everybody's got their own thing that they do, and it's so interesting. And I've learned so much, plus I love the theater. Right. We all do here. And everybody is treated as an individual, and we don't have cookie cutter tax returns here.
Regarding kind of challenges and changes that are happening in the business, one of the things I was never taught in school was anything regarding taxes, like how to keep track of them, how to start reporting them. What would you advise young performers to start thinking of before they even begin their careers?
Right. Well, we have started to do lectures for kids that are in college, that are graduating, or I've been to Juilliard for their graduate program, because the students aren't really getting the training. And also they've usually, even if they've done tax returns before, their folks have done it. But the main thing is to keep track of your income and keep track of your allowable deductions. Kristin, I sent you our deduction worksheet, which is, it can be found on our website, but it gives a lot of performers and people in the industry an idea of allowable deductions. There was a huge change in the tax law, the federal tax law in 2018, which was very punitive, really, to our clients, especially our performers. You're no longer allowed to deduct any expenses against W-2 income. So we have our people on Broadway, they can't deduct their agent commission, they can't deduct their union dues, their training, things that they really need for their craft. I mean, sometimes it's hard to get a job if you don't have an agent, and you have to be in equity if you're going to be in a Broadway show. And those expenses really add up. And we're hoping that down the line, maybe with the change of the administration, and they have so many things on their plate right now, but eventually getting to look at tax law and maybe allowing some of those deductions again.
What would you advise us about working in other states and how to report that?
Well, you have to report your total income. So, it doesn't matter where you work. Your federal return is your even if you work internationally, is your worldwide income. Okay. Then depending on what state you live in, you have to report all your income to that state, unless you also oftentimes have to pay tax to the state where you work. So to avoid double taxation, you'll get a credit on your home state for taxes you've paid to other states, which is why you need someone who knows what they're doing to help you get all the credit that you're entitled to.
Yes.
I mean, TurboTax is great for basic returns.
Right.
And, and for a lot of people in this country, it's wonderful. It's all that you need. But I strongly suggest, whether it's our firm or other places, once you get into this industry, you need someone to help you that understands the work you do, the deductions you can take, and how to present all of your income.
Speaking of income, can you tell us what's the difference between a W-2 and our freelance income?
Okay. When you start working, you'll fill out a W-4 form, and you'll have taxes taken out every time you get paid. Federal, Social Security, Medicare, and state taxes if they apply. A 1099 is a freelancer, or you're an independent contractor. Your employer is not deducting any taxes. So you're responsible to pay all the tax on that income. But you have income, but then you have expenses that you incurred to earn that income. That's where, even on your federal return, you can still take deductions. So if you have freelance income, which is not W-2, not unemployment, but freelance work, contractor work, you can still take deductions on your federal return.
Good.
And obviously, because you're self-employed, anything you need to earn that money, you've had to pay for yourself.
Right.
Okay. So sometimes you have to pay for travel, maybe not, but you have to pay for lessons to be prepared. You have to pay for the internet to be able to get the information that you need and research. You have to go to see shows, if that makes sense to you, or concerts for research. And a lot of, your cell phone, I mean, that's the only way people are getting in contact with you, right? So a portion of that. So that is still deductible, even on your federal return. And you'll pay tax on what's the profit. So your total you earned, less your expenses, and what remains.
I always feel like whenever I'm sitting down with you, I'm getting education, because it's really, I'm trying to keep track of it all year, and the form absolutely helps. I mean, I forget from year to year, and I feel like you totally educate me every year. Regarding kind of tips and trends in this industry, what do you see maybe as an upcoming trend, or something that maybe actors can watch out for in these hopefully post-COVID?
Yes, hopefully post-COVID times. It'll depend. A lot more places are paying on W-2 instead of 1099. It's the definition of an employee. Okay. Anything on Broadway is a W-2. But, if you do concerts, oftentimes that's going to be paid on a 1099. People aren't really looking out, at least the past administration was not really looking out for people in the entertainment industry. It's a very, it's a small part of the entire population of the country, but it's a very important part.
During COVID, what did you do? You watch Netflix. You watch all these kind of filmed shows, because it's a way to escape, but also to educate. So
it is to educate. There's and there's so much, and there's nothing like a live performance, which you all know. There's nothing like a live performance, and you just help everyone. That's why it's so wonderful that there's so many touring companies of shows, so that people all over the country that would never get the chance to come to New York or to go to Los Angeles can see professionals. It's so important for children to see that, and just to expand their mind for something different. Like you said, all the different movies we watch and the different things. So like there's something outside just my little world.
Yeah.
So
what are you, speaking of the world, what is your maybe 2021 big idea or big goals, yourself, your own?
Oh, just to be here for our clients. And it's been so hard. It's been very hard on a lot, certainly the Broadway community or the touring company community, because everything just stopped on March 12th. I can't wait for theater to come back. Television and movies are coming back more, as much as they can. They're being very careful.
And even though we're never sure what's going to happen with taxes, I mean, I have my little day timer calendars that I've used ever since college. I know it makes me such a dinosaur, but that's the way that like I keep track, and then I write it in on the sheet that you all send.
Keep track of everything, all of your expenses, all of your income, because even though you might not get a 1099, you're supposed to for freelance income. But if you keep all your check stubs, you'll know what your income's supposed to be at the end of the year. So some people have envelopes by expense category. So, just whatever makes it easier. I mean, you don't really need to save paper receipts anymore. You can scan them, because at the end of the day, even if we prepare your return or someone else does, it's your tax return. We take what our clients say. Sometimes we'll say, are you sure you spent $10,000 on clothing? I'm not so sure about that. But that's another reason you want to go to someone who understands, to say, okay, what makes sense? What's way out there? And you're asking for trouble.
Well, I find you always prompt me to think of an expense I wouldn't even have thought to write off. You're like, and what about the car tax? And what about this or whatever? I'm like, oh, yes, right. I think that's important, because if I was preparing it myself, I've never prepared it myself.
Right.
If I was preparing my taxes myself, I think I would never do it right. I would never take the amount of things I could.
Right. Well, I think that, and once you establish a relationship with someone, as you know, I always have last year's return. So that, and your expenses. So I said, wait, you had storage expense last year. Do you still have that? Or, when musicians will say, all right, how about your insurance on your instrument? How about the repairs and maintenance on your instrument? We know that. We know what to ask depending on what you're doing. If you're in wardrobe, how about a kit? Do you bring your kit? What do you have to pay for to have in your kit so it's available?
It's different than just going to somebody who doesn't deal with entertainers.
That's right. It's very different.
May be great, but I want somebody who specializes. I don't want a general doctor to do my heart surgery.
That's correct.
I want somebody who's familiar with my specific genre for taxes.
That's correct.
Well, again, thank you for taking time during tax season to one of my guests. This is something that I think people don't think about when they go into the industry with stars in their eyes, but this is something that'll
keep hard. It's very hard.
Yeah, and we want everybody who's watching this just to be better prepared when they step out of their own little corner into the entertainment industry. And again, thank you, Anne, for being one of my guests, and we hope you'll tune in next time. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.